to encapsulation abstraction before, you would have not been able to implement it anyway, and then I would have just left you with that, and later you would have, like, after maybe those 45 days, you would have tried implementing it, I don't know. So I think after I evaluate today's task of you guys, like where you know how to take input, you know how to make a method, you know how to make a class, you know how to do loops. Now I think would be a good time to move on to doing oops concepts. Right? I hope you're understanding. I'm not going by the,
Yes,
the proper, the actually how, the way people try doing it, because that way it will be more of theory. I want it to be more of practical, because because I've taken these before, not with like this organization. Before I've seen like people teaching, and I think I've realized like the better way is like how to write a code, and then you can implement it yourself rather than me just writing code on screen and you sitting and watching it. So we're gonna cover it all. We're gonna do it all. Don't worry about that. We have days still left, and now I feel like before, like the one task I made you guys do again and again, the last one, I think that got you all to write some code, and now I feel like okay, you can, if I give you a task, you'll be able to complete it. So yeah, so Nagarjuna ma'am, you can open your file.
ma'am, it's visible now.
Hmm? What happened?
Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes, it is visible. Your screen is visible, but your file is not visible. You should probably go for share your entire screen. Mm. Please wait for a second, everyone. I'm just wait for a second. Meantime, Nagasha, you open up. Yes, what happened, ma'am? You're not able to open it? Okay, wait, then let me try it once, because it makes no sense to move ahead and not solve an error. If you guys usually have an error, be ready with your code, because rather than me opening your code and I just solve it, I feel it better when I tell you and you do it with your own hand. If you do it with your own hands, you will remember it better. All right, let me see if it works. Okay. It's taking time to load. Mm. Okay. I think this was your code, right? And the error you were getting was that there is no main. And I asked you, like, did you write your main? So you wrote public static void main string args. Okay, you did. So why were you getting that? Let me try running it. I will. Let's see. Let it run. My laptop is working very slow today for some reason. There's some problem. Java, your example is non-project file syntax. Okay, the value or local key is not used. That's it. It is not working for some reason. You did ob.sort array, then you did ob.print array, and then why have you commented out a binary search this thing? Class example. Public array, what you did binary, you never called it. So you okay, this is a separate. Your main should usually be in the class which the file is named after. So we put it over here. Then let's try running it. See, now it worked. Your array got sorted. Have you like already given an array? Okay, okay, yeah, sure. So 11, 12. Did you see it? Nagashri ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the problem was you did write the main, but you wrote main in the selection sort class. You don't, but to your what is your file? Your file is for example.java, right? So there should be a main in example.java. Whatever the file name is, your main should be in there. Okay. If there is a main class, so do not put it in like some other class. So, and why did you not call your binary search? Let's try doing this also. You made this. Okay. There is no need of it. We don't need to call it. called it twice. You did binary search, array, zero, last key. This should be the one. I'm guessing this is not needed. Hmm? What do you mean by key? What is this key? What is this int key used for? Nagashri ma'am.
Fetching
Huh?
element.
No. What will be stored in key? Like, will it be index number? Or will it be the number the user want to search? What
Number
is key?
user want to
Number user want to search? And wherever you ask the user to enter it, you not ask the user to enter it. So let's just give it a number for now. Let's say int key is equals to, you had a 24 in your array, right? If you did not, let's just see what happens. Element not found because there was no 24. I'm guessing you had the numbers. Where is the array? Yeah, there was no 24. You had 65. Let's try with 65 and see if it can find it. Saying element is 64. Okay, it's fine. See, I gave a wrong element. It said element not found because it was not there. See, it's working perfectly. Perfect. So your only problem was you put your main at the wrong place. You had your complete program was like correct. There was no problem, but you put your main at the wrong place. If you put it correctly, it would have worked. Was there anybody who was not able to do it? Because this is the program which is working perfectly. I will easily explain it. Anyone who was not able to do it and wants me to explain it once? Okay, Naveen sir, then can you tell me how did you go about doing your program? What did you do for the task? How did you solve it? Yes, Naveen sir. Are you there, Naveen sir? Okay, this is a good resort not to respond. Okay, leave it. Then if it doesn't matter. If you guys did it, that's great for you. If you guys did not, that will be your loss. So, is there anybody who can tell me how to, right now we are arranging the array in ascending order. Can somebody tell me how to do it in a descending order? Did somebody figure that out? Did somebody, go forward and try doing that? Think about it for a second. It's not that difficult. This is the code, the selection sort where you're sorting it. So did anybody figure out, like, can anybody figure it out how to do arrange the complete array in descending order instead of ascending order?
Ma'am, by keeping greater than symbol, we can do it.
Yes, over where? Over here, right? That's what you're saying? Let's try doing it.
Yes.
See, now it is in this. See, it was not that difficult, very easy. If you just think about it a little bit, great, very good. So now you know you can do ascending or descending order. You can arrange whatever strings. An array with string can also be sorted. Um, it will be sorted in lexicographic order, which means like how words are stored in a dictionary. You know the way a dictionary is arranged, it will be arranged in that manner. So to do that, and the difference will be I don't know. I did teach you guys strings. I told you there are separate, a lot of methods and functions available to work on strings. I don't know if somebody went through them or looked up like what methods are available. Can somebody tell me how do compare two strings? Like if there are two strings, how would you compare them? Comparing, I means how will you find which one is greater and which one is smaller?
We can use length.
Hmm? We use what?
Length of first string and length of second string.
Okay, so let's say we have a word zebra and then we have can. So which one should come first when you're arranging them? If you're arranging strings in order, by order I mean smallest. By smallest I don't mean by the length of the string. Yeah, that is like if you have to arrange it in length, you can go about that. But how the words are arranged in dictionary, that's like ascending order. Smallest is A, like words starting with A, and the largest words are the words starting with Z, right? So how do you compare it? How do you arrange them? Like a word, let's say how your names are, like how your names are stored in the attendance register. There are two people whose name are starting with A. Then you check the second element and you see which one is the smaller, and that name
Ma'am
comes.
means alphabetical order, na?
Yeah, in alphabetical order, exactly how they're stored in your attendance registers in school.
We can do compare to, ma'am.
Compare, yeah. So do you know how you use it? You say the first string dot compare to, and then you give the second string, and then that returns an integer value. So if it's equal to 0, that means both the strings are exactly the same. If it's greater than 0, that means the first, let me see, if the, yeah, that means the second string is greater than, let me just check it once, because once is like greater than 0 and second is, let's see, string compare. See, there's an equals function which checks if they're equal or not. Um, we did equals and we did equals ignore case. Remember, we did equals ignore case when we were doing that. We had the switch. We were using switch for, I'm guessing, what were we doing? We were taking input from the user for while, for running the loop again, and n for not running it. And this is what you should not be using. This compare to. So if the first string is greater than the second string, you get a positive value. If it is lesser, then you get a negative value. Negative value means a number less than 0, and positive value means a number greater than 0 and equal to 0 means they both are completely similar. So let's ignore this. Let's try doing it. So let's make this into a string array and give it string values. So I'll just store your people name. So let's say so, and then let's say whole there. Let's say Sakshi, and let's say let's say Naveen and Lokesh. Hmm. And I think I did everyone's name right. One, two, three, four, five, six of you people. One, three, four, five, six, yes. So now, is that right? I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm going to do this sort. Now here's a sort, and this is taking int, so we're gonna change this to string. So now it's taking a string even over here because string. Now how you're gonna compare it? Everything will be the same. This is where you get the first, the element of your array, which is going to be the first string, and you're gonna say dot compare to, and here you're gonna give your second, you know, you're gonna give your second element, and you were comparing if it was greater than let's store them in from the greatest to the smallest. So if that the first one is going to be the first element would be greater than this element, you're gonna get a positive number, right? And how do you check a positive number? You say greater than zero. If the number is greater than zero, that means it's positive, right? If it is lesser than zero, then it means it is negative. And if it's equal to zero, then like both the strings are equal. You can understand this part? Yes, no, maybe.
No, ma'am.
Did not understand it?
No.
Okay, so how did we write it? You understood where when we wrote array j is greater than array minimum
Yes.
index. You understand that? So we wrote the same thing but for string. This is exactly the same thing. But what is in array j now? It's the first string. And what is an array minimum index? It is the second string. So we wrote the first string compared to second string. So now if the first string will be greater than the second string, we'll get a number greater than 0. What is this going to do? You can just think about it. This is going to subtract both of these strings. Okay, what does this do is like literally if you just for remembering this, what is compare to does, it subtracts both of these strings. Okay, so if the first string is greater than the second string, you're gonna get a positive number. If you minus a bigger number from a smaller number, you get a positive number, so it is going to be greater than 0. If this would have been smaller, so subtracting a smaller number from a greater number will give you a negative number, right? Now do you understand? If these both would have been
Yes,
equal, we
ma'am.
would have got equal to 0. Yes, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now let's try running it. I hope we will get the output we are thinking. Okay, result mismatch cannot convert string to int. Okay, somewhere made a problem. Something wrong. Oh, this. See, it got sorted. So you see, both of these had S. We've arranged them from the the greatest, the last, like the name which would have been the last in your attendance sheet. That means the largest name to the smallest name. So you see, all of these, there were three names with S. So because there were three with S, it compared the second alphabet. So there was U, H, and A. So U comes at the end of the alphabet. So Suma came first, and then Shweta came because SH. Then there was SA. Then there were two N's again. So the N's were the same, the A were the same, but then there was a V and a G. So it placed Naveen first, then it placed Nagashri, and then it placed Lokesh. Did you guys understand how it worked?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And if you would have like would want to do it in a different way, like do it from the smallest name to the largest, you would just write this and run it. See, now it's the other way. So now you know how to sort arrays, and you mm, like you can sort number, and you can even sort, what do you call these, strings. There are even a lot of methods for characters. There's a lot of methods for string. There are a lot of methods for numbers. So you all should go through them, because my covering them like during these sessions would be very difficult, because there are a lot of them, and it's not difficult to implement them. Okay, there you just have to know the syntax and you can do it. So go through them yourself, and if you don't understand any specific one, you can ask me. I'll take that up, because explaining each and every of those will be difficult, but those are very very helpful, so you should know them. Like this compare to, you can even write a whole program for comparing two strings, where you will know, take the first character of first string, take the second first character of the second string, compare them. If they're equal, take the second character of the first string, take the second character of the second string, compare them. That will be like a very cumbersome, a large program, so it makes no sense writing it yourself. If there's already a method to do it, so you should use that. So in the same way, there are a lot more methods. So you all should go through. There's for comparing. There's for converting like strings from lowercase to uppercase, converting them from uppercase to lowercase, and the similar one for characters. For numbers, there's like functions for calculating exponential values. Exponential is like 2 to the power 2, or like the power things and logs and everything. So you should know that. You should go through that once. Now, Beta had something in mind that I wanted to do. Wait, I was just thinking about something. Arrays. Yes. To let's do it in this itself. Let's create another function where let's say public static void, and we wanna palindrome. I guess that's how you write palindrome, right? So we're gonna write a function which will tell you if the string that the user have entered is a palindrome or not. Palindrome strings are like if I write, let's say LOL, if you read it from the starting it is LOL, if you read it from the end it is LOL. Right? There are those kind of words which I cannot remember. Which like how you did a number, right? You did a I think you did a program for palindrome number where you read it from the starting or from the end, it is the same. In similar, we're gonna do that with strings. So can somebody tell me how I should start it? First, what I want to do is I want to take input from the user. So what will be the first thing that I need to do?
Scanner.
Scan. Right, scanner s equals to new scanner system dot in. And then what you need to do is
Int A equal to s dot next int.
You want a string from the user. So this is how you will input a string. The user will give you a string. Now you need to check if the string is a palindrome or not. So I want wait, let me ask somebody. We just did a similar kind of program. We need to reverse the string first, right? The first thing we need to do is reverse it. Only then we can check if it is similar to the first one or not. Can somebody tell me how to reverse a string? And I don't want Sakshi ma'am or Nagashi ma'am answering this one. From the rest of you guys, I want an answer. I want you to tell me how
Um,
how can you reverse a string?
S dot reverse of
String dot reverse. I want you to give me a loop. I don't want to use that. I want you to tell me.
by taking the length of the string as I and
Okay. Okay, wait. Let me
uh,
start writing it and then you can tell me. So first I'll get the length. Okay. And then just write length is equals to str dot the length and this will give me the length. So you want me to write for and you're saying that I should be equals to length and then I should be
uh, less than 0
less
until
than
I is greater than 0.
I is greater than 0. Okay.
I plus plus.
I plus plus. If anybody
Inside
spot
this
any problem, you guys can also, chime in. It's all right. Yeah, then.
I minus minus, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay.
We need to decrement it.
Yeah, great. Perfect.
And then take any empty string, ma'am.
Of course, I'll
Like
make another,
string.
I'll make another string over here. I'll say string rev is equals to, this is an empty string.
Yes,
These are
ma'am.
double quotes with no space in between. There's no, not even a single space, all right? They're just double quotes, one after the another.
Reverse plus
Rev is equals to rev plus,
s dot caret
stop. It's not S, it's str. Carat.
length. I sorry.
Oh, perfect. Is it correct? The rest of the
Ma'am,
crowd? Yes.
I should be initialized with I equal L lan minus 1
All right. Perfect.
and I greater than equal 0, I think.
Yes. Perfect. Perfect. See, this is like you should pay attention to these details because otherwise your loop would have given you an answer, but that would have not been correct because this logic was kind of off. But you even told me like very like I'm impressed that you remembered how to do this. This was like really good. So now what now we got a reverse string. We have a string which is reversed and we have the normal string. So now what do we do to find if it is a palindrome or not? Can somebody guess? Give me a wild guess. It's not even that difficult. You have the reversed string and you have the normal string. So how do you find if it is a palindrome or not? What is a palindrome? The reverse string and your normal string is like the same.
S dot compared to reverse, ma'am. When it is equal to 0, it is palindrome.
Perfect. See, we just did it and like one person is answering for that. So I have no idea if you guys even pay attention. So what we're going to do is we're going to take an integer and we're going to say C is equals to, we're going to do S dot str dot compared to rev. And this is going to give me an integer. This is going to give me an integer. Either it will be greater than 0, less than 0, or equal to 0. But if it is equal 0, that means system dot out dot print. I'm gonna say file. I'm just gonna do that, and then and if you have a single statement in your if or your for, like there's for loop or anything, if you have only one statement, there's like no need for those brackets. You can ignore those brackets. Those brackets are used. See, but it's a good practice to even write brackets when there's only single, a single statement, because that makes it clear. Like when you read the code becomes more clear what is inside the if or for and what is outside it. But if you have only one statement, if you want, you can just omit those brackets. You can leave those brackets out. There's no need to write them. So you can have your else and system dot out dot print, and you can have not. Right. And we're going to call this over here. I'm not do the sort anymore. We're going to we are going to do palindrome. It's waiting for an input because we did not like give anything. So let's just give a string. Let's just go with LOL.
Interesting, ma'am. System dot bring.
We will not import 0 dot. I just write that so that it's becomes more readable. Method main unresolved compilation problem. The method next is undefined for the type example. I cannot be resolved. It cannot be resolved to a variable.
Ma'am, in 21st row,
Mm-hmm.
there is error.
Over here, over here somewhere.
22, 22.
Over
S
here.
dot next, S dot next.
Oh yes, perfect. Thank you for that. Still doing it was only compilation. Why can't resolve to a variable? You didn't write int. Alright, you've broken it more. Mm, I'll do one thing, I'll pick all of this up. X, and I'm going to get rid of all of this. The problem might have been, somewhere because there was like a lot of code going on and a lot of different stuff. So I just got rid of that. Ah, should not press enter and run it again. So let's say LOL and press and enter. It is palindrome. And let's say anything else, like an apple. It not recognized as name. Oh, because sorry, I had to run it again. It was an apple. It says not palindrome. If you guys can think of another palindrome string, tell me. We can check that. Can you guys think of a palindrome string which can be read the same way from both the sides?
Madam,
Hmm. MADAM. Yeah, perfect. Let me run it. I'm again writing it. So MADAM is a palindrome, and if you write sir, that is not. What is happening to me? Why am I doing that? Yeah, it's not palindrome. So I hope you guys understood what was going on. Anybody has any confusion regarding this program? Look at it once. If you want to take a screenshot, you can take it, and then we'll just wrap up this session. I will be sending you a task today, and I'll send it by the evening. It might take me a little bit of time to send it because I have my tests going on, so I have a class for my own thing after this. But I'll send it maximum by 7 or 8 o'clock, and then you guys can do it. And tomorrow we're gonna start a new topic. We're gonna And I want you all to go through everything which we have done before. If you have any problem, just pick it out and let me know. I'm gonna not repeat now anything that we've done till now. This is like enough practice and enough stuff for all your basic kind of things. Now I'm gonna move on because I've already given you task. If you were able to do the task which I gave you today, like the one that we're discussing today and the one we did before, the one with different classes, and you've understood threads and stuff, then we can easily move on to more complex stuff now. I think you guys are ready. So, any problem? Then ask me, otherwise, you can start leaving the class.